When, in the morning, you haven't yet found an excuse for yourself. The world is already arrayed inside your mind. Sentinels of belief, lurking saboteurs of doubt, unseen currents of opportunity. Picture an invisible engineer working day and night inside your head, drawing blueprints with thoughts and laying roadways with habits, either driving you toward wealth or steering you into mediocrity. Today, I want you to take command of that engineer, not to stumble into success by accident, but to set success to run automatically. You think that's some mystical stroke of luck? It's not. It's replicable mental engineering, like Ford building automobiles using formulas, discipline, and an ironclad faith forged again and again. Look at Edison holding the light in the dark. He relied not on intuition, but on daily experiments that proved failure is simply one step closer to truth. Look at Lincoln, rejected, mocked, crushed by despair. Yet he engraved his purpose on his heart, not to feed vanity, but to fuel every act of getting back up. Success is not a spectacular flash. It is a succession of repeated choices. It is the string of actions you take in the second others. Decide to quit. Write this into your brain so that it becomes software. Not occasionally launching achievement, but running it as a background service. That is the work. To reprogram your mind, begin with clarity. Imagine yourself as a satellite, orbiting a singular target, your specific vision. Vague goals are mental fog. They block every precise launch. Write down your desire. Get concrete with numbers, dates, sensations, and place it at the first thought when you wake. Each repetition is the weight of faith. Each restatement is the current that links neural circuits. Belief doesn't arise from nowhere. It grows from clear declarations, repeated visualization, and decisive acts. Carnegie taught a generation how words could reshape a life. Use modern tools to turn language into programming that runs in your unconscious. Belief summons resources. The human brain is a connecting machine. Belief is current that energizes circuits. When you steadfastly believe, opportunities appear. Networks form, priorities reorder. The attraction of success is not magic. It's attention amplified. Disney, dismissed as a purveyor of dreams by some, used imagination and relentless execution to assemble an ecosystem that magnetized capital, talent, and audiences. State your belief, state it firmly, and make it a daily ritual. The morning declaration, the nightly review, the weekly objective audit. Rituals prove their power. Small acts repeated become the people you are. Discipline is not cold sacrifice. It's respect for the future. Those who step out before dawn gain more than time. They obtain freedom of choice. Choosing to rise early fights the greatest enemy of life. Delayed gratification. Mark every act of restraint as a victory. Every persistence as reinforcement of neural pathways. Discipline turns action into machinery. No longer dependent on mood. Picture your routine as railroad tracks. Discipline is the sleeper. So the train arrives at destination regardless of storm or ease. But steel will alone is not enough. Flexibility is evolution's language. Adaptability is the foundation of lasting abundance. When the world rewrites rules, technology, market norms, the truly wealthy are not the ones who cling to old castles, but the translators who recode vision into a new tongue. Learn as naturally as you breathe. Keep curiosity alive. Treat failure as data. Crisis as an opportunity to reprogram. Amelia Earhart altered course in storms and extended her flight. You adapt in setbacks, and destiny clears a path for you. At the heart of it all is action. Belief without action is fantasy. Clarity without action is a beautiful slideshow. Great dreamers are the most dogged executors. Make daily non-reversible micro-commitments. Tinny tasks that must be done. Break your objective into repeatable micro-actions, like Ford did with production. You'll be surprised. When small acts become habit, miracles become a sequence of gears slowly turning. Gratitude is the lubricant of this system. Every act of thanksgiving recalibrates attention from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude isn't weakness. It's strategy. The skill of finding resources in any situation. Put gratitude into your morning and night programs, and your brain will recognize opportunity faster and fear less. Wealth is not isolated. It accumulates through networked blessings. Your gratitude sketches will attract more value into your life. As you run these programs in your mind repeatedly, something new will occur. Automation, not wealth gifted by circumstance, but the natural flow of your internal mechanisms. You will no longer need to spark yourself for every move because the system itself keeps working while you sleep. Like a well-built factory that hums at night, a mature mental system propels you when you hesitate. Now, close your eyes and hear the tools of the inner engineer click into place, those gears starting to turn. This is not fantasy. It is preparation, your last ultimatum to the future. When you input these programs into your mind, the next step isn't to relax your vigilance, but to refine your internal operating system. Remember, every great machine is made of countless precise parts. Your success is likewise composed of innumerable small habits, decisions, and connections. Don't despise them for their size. Small things accumulate into destiny. Imagine standing before an enormous clock. Each tick of a gear records your fate. Learn to be the watchmaker. Examine every cog's wear, adjust every spring's tension, and keep the whole clock chiming the bell of prosperity on time. Decision making is the torch of mental automation. Hesitation acts like termites, slowly hollowing the pillars of your plans. Every remembered historical figure shares one thing. When the moment came, they dared to decide. Lincoln did not flinch when the nation split. Carnegie chose to invest in future growth rather than short-term gain. This is not recklessness, but decisive action based on information and principle. Train yourself to choose under limited information and then correct. Quickly, make trial and error part of your strategy. Treat every decision as an experiment, not a do or die wager. Swift, planned action will take you further than the perfectionist waiting for certainty. Fear is the stubborn virus in every automated program. Fear of failure, shame, oblivion. These anchor you when creativity is most needed. You don't fight fear by repression, you decode it. Write your fears down and analyze them item by item. What is its origin? How real is the threat? Visualize the worst-case scenario and then list your countermeasures. Fear shrinks when exposed to light. Edison said late in life that failure merely ruled out what doesn't work. When you treat fear as information instead of an adversary, it helps you refine your program instead of controlling you. Learning matters, but continuous learning is not about passive reading. It's about turning learning into feedback loops. Every action produces data, and every data must be analyzed. Watch your life like an entrepreneur watches market metrics. What actions bring energy? What drains you with no return? Which people lift you? Which weigh you down? Convert learning into a system. Define sources of input. Evaluate their worth. Absorb practices that work. Discard those that do not. Knowledge that does not evolve dies. Keep it in a state of evolution, so it adapts to new rules. Your network is both accelerator and filter. Napoleon Hill spoke of a master mind. Today, that concept is more vital than ever. Your environment magnifies your traits. Surround yourself with the like-minded, and you'll be elevated. Surround yourself with doubt and negativity, and you'll be dragged back. Curate your circle not for status, but for exponential capability. Build a team that challenges and supports you. Your external processor. True leadership is not solitary heroism, but the skill to convene, coordinate, and convert a shared vision into action. Service is the most underrated law of attraction. Wealth is not mere acquisition. It is the return on value created. When your energy points to service, your action shifts from self-centeredness to building bridges to others. Disney did not merely sell entertainment. He created experiences. Jobs didn't sell phones. He offered tools that changed how people live. Write, "Who do I serve and how?" into your vision. The wealthy sustain wealth because they constantly generate tradable value. Integrate altruism into your system and watch resources return geometrically. Resilience is the art of turning fragility into bounce. Pressure is inevitable. What matters is how you reconceptualize it. Some retreat under pressure, others rebuild systems and evolve. Treat challenges as training fields and each crisis as a neural strengthening opportunity. Train psychological resilience like a muscle. Increase difficulty gradually. Record recovery speed. Repeat the stress until you perform under higher loads. Those called geniuses are not immune to fatigue. They simply recover faster and return to the field with renewed force. Design the rhythm of your life. Don't hand over time to the chaos of day. Today, treat time as a scarce resource to be protected. The first hour of the morning is your purest computing resource. Use it to program, visualize, and set priorities. The last hour at night is your shutdown routine, review log lessons, give thanks, correct course. Calendar. These blocks like you would protect critical system processes and guard them as you would your life. Fragment your hours and give each a clear function. Don't let trivialities blur your main thread. Finally, hold on to a far-reaching truth. Real wealth never descends as overnight miracle. It is the result of daily rewiring of your mind into a factory of abundance. Integrate belief, action, environment, learning, and service into a smooth system, and you'll possess a program that can run automatically. It is both stern and tender. Stern because it demands relentless investment, tender because persistence yields abundance. Treat your mind as an engineering project. Iterate and optimize, and you will be astonished to discover that fate is not a force that defeats you, but circuitry that can be rewired. When you truly grasp the power of mental programming, you'll see that the key is not how much information you have, but how you transform information into neural routines. Imagine your thoughts as a river. If you don't build banks and control gates, it floods aimlessly and erodes your plans. Constructing levees isn't to dam the flow, but to channel energy. Channel the river of attention so every drop contributes to one powerful current. Your goal, power, lies in focus. Focus makes every effort accumulate into an ocean, every choice point toward a single terminus. Use visualization as your mold. Spend 5 minutes each day drawing your future. See the flow of money. Feel the texture of success. Hear people applauding your contribution. Do not treat visualization as daydreaming. It is the neural blueprint for your system. Repeat those images until your body reacts chemically. Heart quickens, breath deepens, action is urged. Then external obstacles stop looking like threats and begin to look like training grounds, labs where beliefs are converted into reality. Edison saw the light through countless trials. Carnegie saw applause before stepping onto stages. Their visualization wasn't superstition, it was the script for action. Language is power. The words you tell yourself daily are seeds sown into soil that will grow into towering trees. Remove negative language and substitute, "I can't with, I'm learning how." This is not self-deception, it's strategy. Language shapes reality because it remakes what you deem possible. Treat words as your programming language. Write your life in affirmative statements and in the present tense. I create value every day. I have growing steady income until your subconscious treats them as established facts. Wealth thinking begins with responsibility. The truly wealthy don't merely chase bigger numbers. They accept broader responsibility to family, to team, to society. Regard wealth as a tool, not the end. Ford didn't build cars for his ego. He liberated people from the limits of horse-drawn transport. His industrialization was a commitment to social efficiency. If you chase money to seize and hoard, your system will fail from short sight. If you chase money to serve, it will lead to larger returns. Now consider compounding, not interest compounding, but habit compounding. Daily micro. Wins pile up like compound interest, creating irreversible advantage. Doing one small thing daily is more valuable than planning 10 grandiose actions. Standardize daily actions and make them automatic triggers. Rising early, exercise, reading, writing, outreach, review. These micro actions are essential background routines, polling your system to ensure you don't drift. Repetition is strength. Habit is the bed where revolution grows. Respect money's function. It is an energy metric, a certificate of value exchange. Respect money without becoming its slave. Treat income as payment for value you gave. Treat expenses as investments in your future productivity. Manage cash flow like an entrepreneur. Allocate, reinvest, reserve buffers. Fear drives hoarding. Greed drives reckless expansion that ruptures systems. Find balance, codify financial rules into your program, and enforce them. There is a rule widely ignored: solitude for deep thought. Many fear being alone, afraid to face the silent void, and hear the voice that questions them. Solitude is alchemy for thought. When you learn to sit in silence, you hear the soft signals of intuition. Great decisions often come in quiet mornings or late nights. Lincoln found the courage to persist in silence. Jobs found product to human harmonies in his alone time. Schedule solitude as a restoration camp and regularly dialogue with yourself to audit your whole program. Connection is not the empty interaction of social media. Real connection is deep reciprocity born from value exchange and trust. Find people who will tell you the truth and be your mirror. They will reveal blind spots, challenge your excuses, and pull you back when you stray. These relationships don't run on consumption, but on mutual growth. Build them by first delivering value, then asking, listening, and returning. Be someone who accelerates others, and you'll be propelled by their resources. Adapt to rhythm. Don't fight it. The tides of the world tear down old rules. Only those who can shift tempo survive the swell. Treat learning as a metronome, steady, fast, faithful. Today's edge is tomorrow's burden unless you continue to update it. Don't cling to past honors. Treat achievements as waypoints, not finishes. Maintain humble awareness, and you'll absorb new knowledge far easier than pride will allow. Finally, remember this simple rule: the quantity of action determines the quality of results. You can have the clearest vision and the most rigorous plan, but without sustained action, it is only a mirage. Break action down, systematize and automate it, turn failure into data, success into system feedback. You aren't chasing fleeting glory, you're building a self-replicating ecosystem. Let the vision you wrote become a rooted seed. Let daily persistence act as rain. When storms come, you will not panic because you have already rooted deep and grown a broad canopy. Now install these programs into your daily life. Start them running and let your unconscious become your staunchest ally. When these principles enter your bones, you will see that the real victory is not winning a single battle, but training yourself to be an unquenchable lighthouse. No matter how dark the night or how high the waves, there is light to guide others and yourself. Do not wait for inspiration or plead for perfect conditions. Great eras make no concessions for sloth. Think of Edison's fingers, raw from ceaseless trials, of Lincoln tightening his grip on the pen amid scoffs and setbacks. These are not romantic accidents, but evidence of faith transmuted into muscle memory day after day. Turn your vision into a command and issue a clear program to your unconscious. Each morning, execute the sequence. Visualize, declare, act, and let the system iterate while you are not watching. Be the engineer debugging a complex machine, log inputs, measure outputs, adjust thresholds, purge futile loops, and regard each small tweak as a lever that multiplies your future tenfold. Don't be fooled by perfectionism fast. Disciplined action yields the real return. Chop goals into 7-day tasks. Break complex problems into testable hypotheses and validate them with market feedback and reality. Ford deconstructed automobile production into repeatable processes. Jobs prototyped early so products could meet the world sooner. Adopt this approach in your life. Quick testing, quick correction, quick scaling. Translate fear into a checklist and answer each item with executable steps, then complete them. You'll find fear brittle in the face of action. It is nothing but a delayed excuse. Action is the most direct investment in the future. Do not forget the multiplier of connection. Build a compact circle of people who will challenge, support, and labor alongside you. They are accelerators and refuges. Carnegie's principles of alliance translate today into high-dimensional collaboration. Convey your vision in few precise words, and let those with value naturally gravitate. You are not an island. You are a node in a network. Learn to attract resources instead of clinging to possession. Learn to contribute rather than await charity. Abundance is never a zero-sum game. When you create value, you expand the pie, and you will receive a larger slice. Lastly, gratitude and humility stabilize your system. Every expression of thanks is an affirmation of the path you took. Every review of failure injects wisdom into the future. Make these values your shutdown routine. At day's end, list 3 achievements, 3 areas for improvement, and gratitude for 3 people. This is not ritual for show, but the method by which experience is translated into neural wiring. When you automate these processes, you will not need constant pep talks. Your system will persist, habits will fight for you, and compounding will reward your investment. Now close your eyes and imagine yourself 3 years from now. Not as a fantasy, but as a fact sculpted by habit and action. Feel that composed confidence derived not from outside praise, but from the inner certainty that you perform the right things daily. Treat today as the reboot for your life's operating system. Discard old defaults and install the new program. Clear goals, unwavering belief, ruthless action, smart learning, generous service, sound financial management, a circle of stronger partners, and a rational decoding of fear. Make these your default mode so abundance becomes the natural output of your inner mechanism. Not a desperate chase rise, and begin to run this program. Build a life of not only wealth, but force and meaning that can be inherited. Before this night ends, write the first action at dawn. Press the start button.